All right, what's going on? It's Bobby Skinner, Jam Football, doing a breakdown of the national team's Day 2 O-line, D-line 101s. Some good stuff in here. I thought the D-line had a really nice day, but the offensive line guys had some good stuff here too. The American side of this for Day 2 is going to be on a different channel, Talking Giants. We're really putting it on there to promote this channel, but if you want to see that, we'll put a link in the description for that. And then Day 3 will come out later on this channel too. I'm not sure when. So let's get into it. First play, we're going Fuaga out of Oregon State versus Austin Booker out of Kansas. Fuaga's looked at as like a first rounder, like a top half of the first rounder type of guy. Right? So let's go through this. Good feet by Fuaga, right? Hands are wide though, and Booker attacks in the chest, right? Fuaga keeps great proportion, right, to where Booker's not getting around the corner. So what does Booker do? He's got to try and go through him. Now, I don't like the leverage of Booker. He's standing straight up, get some lean in there on there, right? But Fuaga does a good job of keeping his feet under him, getting hands on, right, and just anchoring down. Right, he's just got good core strength, right, and it shows up consistently. Now we got Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon versus Michael Hall of Ohio State. This was one of the best matchups. I thought both these guys did some good stuff. I think there's 3 plays of these guys on this one. JPJ at guard, right? That's not his. He's played center. And the simple as one, we're giving up too much space, and we're late with our hands. And Michael Hall, that gives him one, momentum, leverage, and then a striking point, and he just gets underneath his chest. Right? Now, I like the way JPJ works to recover, right? Getting your hand underneath, breaking that hand off you to work him off you, right? And slow this down. So this is a good recovery by JPJ, but he does have to recover because Hall wins this, right? And again, I always say in these, don't really look at where they end up, because this is just unrealistic for interior offensive linemen in this drill, right? You're never going to get stone walls in this, right? You're not working as a team. But this, man, he gets underneath him. And I like that from Michael Hall, right? Just, maybe work to disengage, right? At this point, work to disengage. Next play, Brandon Dorless out of Oregon. A nice spin, right? And these are the types of spins I like. A lot of times these guys throw these spins out here. I'm like, man, this is just unrealistic. What I like about this one is we are challenging. We are getting upfield. We're penetrating, right? We go to rip, right? He's got that. He's going to try and ride it. And I know this is in the way. But when he's got you hooked, just make this spin fast and compact. And you use that left shoulder to essentially fling him off of you, right? That's like a punch. Generating that force, no wasted footwork. Those are the type of spins I like, right? When you just, have all this space, and I don't really like that. It's not really applicable in game setting, but this is good. Here's Dominic Puny out of Kansas at guard. I thought he looked a lot better on the interior as these days went along, right? He grew. Now you can see a little too high a pad level. He's playing this like he's a tackle. But you get hands on him. Good feet, but we don't want him rushing upfield on that either, too, from Tyler Davis. Taylor Bordelina of Wisconsin versus Gabe Hall to Baylor. Gabe Hall has long arms, right? And I liked him in these one-on-one settings. And this is a great rep from him. And you're going to just see the arm length, right? We're going to strike his shoulders. And look, we've got handfuls of jersey, and he cannot get his hands on you, right? And he's working to, right? But you got long arm length of this interior defensive line versus these interior guys who don't have the longest arms. You rip with that left hand, attack the back with the right, get upfield. That's a great rep. Watch it one more time in full speed. Just using that arm length. Good shit. Next, Isaiah Adams out of Illinois versus Dwayne Carter out of Duke. I thought Adams had a really good week too. This is great posture. landing your punch. Carter works inside. We mirror, right? We're head to head. That's the relationship we want from an offensive line standpoint. We're head to head. We've got hands on him. We keep our feet moving. Carter works the counter. We're ready. Put him on his ass. This is a good rep for Isaiah Adams, right? Good posture. He counters inside. We're here. He wants to mirror back out. He wants to do that spin. We'll put him on his ass. Good rep for Isaiah Adams. Next, JPJ versus Michael Hall again. And JPJ working a guard. This is good. Right now, I want to see him get a little more aggressive in his pass sets at guard. And again, he's been playing center. But I like this, right? Show hands, right? Show hands. And what does Michael Hall go do to try and work, to work those hands off of you? Show those hands, pull them, reload, here. Bam. You shut down what he wants to do, right? You shut down the hand fight. And this is good get off from Michael Hall. Like, this is good movement. So he gets that spin. I don't like that spin. And JPJ's there, right? Play the piano on his back. Keep your hands working as he spins. Reload them. Keep your feet moving. Hands on. Right? Now we got this right hand. We got this left hand ready to go. This is really good rep for JPJ. Just show hands, pull them. Bam. Reload. Keep your feet moving. I mean, that's the great hand fight by JPJ. Roger Rosengard out of Washington. I mean, he just stonewalls Braden McGregor, and I didn't like Braden McGregor much down here. Good feet. All right, we're keeping good proportion. That's what we want. He's going to counter inside. Strong. Hands on, strong. Good stuff. Isaiah Adams again, this time versus Brandon Dorless. Good posture. Lands hands. Dorless a little too high on this right. Trying to work like this little bit of a stutter, which I don't like much for him. And you just see the nice anchor. Nice base by Adams. Keep your feet moving. Good play. Dominic Puny versus Dwayne Carter. Puny at center now. Puny landing hands, right? We got this close space. Needling get out of the way to help us look at this better. We get hands on Puny, or Carter, right? Now they're high. See how that hand's high? Watch them replace. Replace it back low. You got your hands inside. Keep your feet moving. Strong, right? Carter's ripping at that jersey. Stay strong. Keep your base underneath you. Keep your feet moving. Shut them down. Fuaga versus Adisa Isaac out of Penn State. I mean, 1, 2, 3. This is great footwork by Fuaga. 1, 2, 3. He works to dip that edge. Keep your feet moving, right? Just keep your feet moving with it. We're washing him around at 10 yards. People are going to say that's holding. That's not holding at all. That's a great rep for Fuaga. All right, JPJ versus Michael Hall again. Again, I would like Jackson Powers Johnson. I know this is one-on-ones to get a little more aggressive in these pass sets. We're getting, at the end of the day, we're not playing tackle here, right? We're not trying to work a guy around the corner. We're trying to stop him in this area right here. All right, so I'd like him to, instead of working to back here, to work to here, right? Bring the fight to him. But you do see good hand fight from JPJ, right? Show the hands, pull them away, which means Michael Hall, he's trying to work that cross chop against nothing, right? He's thrown his hands against air doing nothing, right? Which means once that move doesn't land, well, now where's our hands? Now we can get our hands on the guy because his hands are not able to be used at this point. And we can finish this rep. Again, I don't want to be, at guard, we're not trying to wash guys around the corner, but in the case of a one-on-one drill, it's pretty good. Laitu Latu didn't get a lot of run on day 2. So you see the good out of Latu, right? Like, his ability to quickly string moves together. Now, I don't like this spin, right? We get to it too early, right? If you want to attack his shoulder and then spin out of it, that's great. But there's too much space here, right? That spin just makes it easy for the tackle. There's too much space here. If you want to really work that spin, take one more step, get into his shoulder, get him upfield, and then spin out of it. Right? So the spin doesn't work, but he immediately recognizes it, right? Gets hands. Works the swim. Shows solid bend. And counters out of it, right? So that's what you like about Latu, right? He's just constantly moving, constantly countering, right? He's a pain in the ass to block because he may not, land one move, but the next move he's going to be there. Roger Rosengarten out of Washington again versus Brady McGregor. And just easy work for Rosengarten. Now, I don't like the fact that he's leaning like this on this punch, right? But just keep your feet moving. Keep a good proportion. Good rep. Ladarius Henderson, who's a taller, longer guard than you see. Dwayne Carter just works to chop those hands off of you, then gets in his chest, has the leverage. Has that leverage, gets underneath him, working those arms underneath, and just drive. You see Henderson, right? Henderson's trying to get to this hop step, but he's just got no chance because Carter is relentless once he's underneath the guy's pads, right? And I don't think Carter has, he's flashed these consistently. I think there's been other bad reps, but once he gets underneath the guy's pads, he's unstoppable. Here we got Puny. Again, at center versus Gabe Hall, right? Both guys who have had good reps earlier in this video. Puny wins, right? Right? Gabe Hall doesn't have that arm length advantage that he had versus the Wisconsin center Bortolini. Right? Tries to work similar thing. Puny's got a nice, stronger, core strength. We're here. He wants to spin, right? Use this useless spin. We'll reload our hands and land them. And we done. We kill the will. He quits on the drill. Kill the will. Kill the will of the rusher. Isaiah Adams on this next one versus Brandon Dorless. I like the second effort from Brandon Dorless, right? Because Isaiah Adams, who I think just has guard down better than anyone, in this national team, just playing the guard position. Right? At this point, you're like, oh, Isaiah Adams wins. I like the ability to sink your hips by Dorless, right? And use that upper body strength to, bam, torque. Drive from this right foot, right? See the power driving from this right foot into that shoulder. And, now let's land the hands in the chest. Let's keep our feet driving. I love that from Dorless, right? Really impressed with Dorless, right? His ability to figure it out in the rep, right? We talked about that spin earlier. That was Dorless. And then the last one, Tylese Fuaga versus Marshawn Neelan out of Western Michigan. Right, good footwork by Fuaga, right? Bam, 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 right? That's what we want. This is what we want. Good stuff here, right? But we talk about that spin. This is when you work that spin. When you've got a guy right here, you're underneath it, you're in that shoulder. He's overextending at this point, right? And if you're Fuaga, pull your hand, right? Pull your hand. You don't need to be so overextended in this. Reload. Be ready to go, right? You've won. Just reload. But because he's overextended like this, Neelan's able to feel it. He's got all of his weight shifting this way, and spin out of it, right? That shoulder on that spin works like a punch. you wrap the back. And that's a good counter for kneeling. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, the American one is out on the Talking Giants channel now. The day 3 of both sides will be out on this channel later, in a couple days or whenever we're able to put that out. So appreciate you guys, and we will see you on the next one.